future, man. There's no such thing as Asperger's anymore, which is like a nice word for mildly autistic, I guess.
Yeah. Asperger's hasn't been part of the DSM since like 2012, I think. So it's
Like
been a while
15,
now.
10 years. 2012.
2012, I'm pretty sure, was
Oh,
when it
wow.
was removed. It's now what's the term for it?
Oh,
I keep thinking I keep thinking entry level autism, but
entry-
that's not
you know
quite
what?
that's
That's
not the
canon.
term. Entry level autism. No, it's
Functioning or
no,
like
it's not that.
I know what you mean. It's something.
It's something like that means the same thing.
Come here.
Yeah, whatever. I'm just gonna roll with
Entry level.
Entry level autism. There it is.
We are not going to panic.
Look at this guy, he's a giant robot.
Shut the fuck up when grown men's is crying.
Great idea! Great idea!
What am I, fucking magician, man?
Am I some kind of fucking magician, man?
An icosahedron.
Icosahedron every day.
Sometimes twice a day.
Captain James T. Kirk once said, "May the force be with you."
What the heck even happened to you, man? Time to big brain.
What is the airwolf of trains?
Greetings, Denvers and dinosaurs, and welcome to episode 155 of the Blockbrothers Show, the podcast where we review a random episode of a different canceled or ended TV series each and every week. I am one of your hosts, Christopher Siege.
And I'm your other host, West Coast Cal.
Today on the Blockbrothers Show, we are kicking off a new programming block. Jared's block for the month of March has ended, and we are spearheading, charging ahead forward into April, and we're going back in time because April's theme is dinosaurs. I'm calling it Dino Month, also known as Dynamite, also known as Dinotron, also known as Dino Day, also known as Dino Days, also known as...
Not to be confused with each other.
Also known as 30 Days of Dinos.
30 Days of Dino.
We have fun here on the Blockbrothers Show. What can I say? We're kicking off 30 Days of Dinos with Denver, The Last Dinosaur.
He's our friend.
Earworm.
And a whole lot more. So,
what does that mean exactly? What are they getting at?
Okay, so I watched this with my partner, and
Denver,
she's like,
the Last Dinosaur. He's my friend and a whole lot more.
She was like, it never occurred to her, but she was like, what does that mean? A whole lot more? Because like as a kid, you're just like, oh, because like, you know, like he's a dinosaur and he's like sentient and he's a detective one
He's
episode.
a super pal.
He's a super pal or whatever. But like as an adult, you're like, what them kids doing with that dinosaur? What? What? Next thing you know, they'll be letting the dinosaurs walk into any bathroom they identify as.
Whoa, something weird just happened with my
Oh.
oh, there we go.
Yeah, it auto-focused weird. We're
yeah, it
back.
went
It's
out of
because
focus.
you're phasing back in time.
Oh,
And we're not
shit.
just going back in time to get the dinosaurs for this theme.
We're also going through space
We're going through space
to
That's
Southern
right.
California, which I can only presume is where Denver the Last Dinosaur is set, based on the way his teenage / young adult friends speak. They speak in that very like Bill and Ted, like
Oh, man.
SoCal, like dude manner.
When this came on, it almost seemed like a parody of itself because we're so far removed and we're aware of all the tropes, right? So when there's a character named Shades, and it's like, oh, and the other character with like the popped collar, and they're like, "Whoa, man, we need to go and like find Denver before anyone sees him."
Yeah,
and I'm like, holy this is the and the commercial screens going in and out. This is the most 90s show without like a show trying to be nostalgic or 90s. This was like when people think of 90s cartoons, they probably think about this. This felt like this was actually made in like 2015 to seem like a 90s kids cartoon.
Well, and ironically, the show is actually from the late 80s.
Yeah, because it went into the late 80s. Did it keep going? It kept going into the early 90s, right?
It ran from 88 to 1990.
Oh, okay, so no, it barely counts as.
Well, and here's
we've
the thing.
talked about this before, how like decades actually aren't neatly removed from each other. It's not like, okay, the 80s are over. I don't want to see a disco ball in sight. Okay, that was 70s and went over into the 80s. I don't want to see him no more.
Right.
Hair metal? Get the fuck out of here right now. No longer shall men wear tight pants. That was in the 80s and and baggy. As soon as like they were counting down the new year, everybody like ripped off their like tight leather pants, and underneath somehow they all had baggy jeans. They all had Jenkos.
And here's the thing is, and we've talked about this before, but this is a good time to bring it up again, is decades don't, as you said, like they don't, it isn't just like, oh, it's suddenly 1990 now, all of that 80s shit, get out of here with it. Get
out of here.
What a lot of people associate as being like the totally radical 90s was actually probably existed from about 1987 to about 93.
I was gonna say like what, yeah, like 88 to like 92 or 87 to like 93,
around
right?
there,
And then and what a lot of people associate with like millennium stuff is like kind of 96 to like 2002.
Exactly. Yeah. I think what actually killed in pop culture, the like totally radical 90s from like 87 to 93 ish, I think it was the grunge. Actually, I think it was the grunge movement.
Yeah, that came on mid-ish 90s, and that changed a lot.
Yeah.
So I guess it depends on if you were a parent or if you were a kid, how you like remember it. But a lot of people think of grunge.
Yeah.
And that kind of like later part of the 90s rather than like the early, because for me, this and like certain movies and TV shows remind me of the 90s.
Like Bill
but
and
like
Ted.
that's Bill and Ted feels 80s still. But
That's fair.
you can Bill and Ted's a good example of how the 80s and 90s merged.
Kind of like coalesced. Yeah.
Yeah, because if you were to watch that, you wouldn't blame somebody for saying that, oh, that must be like 94, right? Like if they were younger.
Yeah.
But no, it's 80s, but you could see a lot of that influence rolling over.
So
I went full 80s and 90s for this.
You did.
That's right.
I dug up a big ass hole in your backyard and found a giant dinosaur egg and cracked it open, and inside was you looking exactly like you do now.
That's right. And they went, after 10,000 years, I'm like free. It's time to conquer South California.
Whoa, that was a totally bogus slumber I just had, bro.
Whoa, totally. What did they say in Bill and Ted? Other than bogus, totally. I can't remember. It's been some years since I watched it. And I don't care what people say. People that are like, oh man, the newer one, it was like kind of bad.
Strange things are afoot at the Circle K.
Every time I go past the Circle K in Victoria,
I'm starting to go a little bit Nicolas Cage there.
Whoa, like crazy things are afoot in Circle K.
See, it's a good thing I'm an engineer by trade.
Slush puppy. That killed me.
I know.
Sometimes I think we should record our gameplay because the funniest we are tends to be when we're like playing video games or something.
Yeah, so for listeners, we weren't even recording, but a while ago we were playing Dead by Daylight and over voice chat. And I was playing as Nicolas Cage, and I think we were playing like 2v8. And
right.
I had selected my class as like being like an engineer, and I can't even remember but I was like working on a generator, and you said, oh, I see you're the only one working on a generator. You're the only one working on a generator, I see. And then I said in like a Nicolas Cage-esque voice, I'm like, it's a good thing I'm an engineer by trade. And it just fucking killed Cal.
Because a lot of the lines that you come up with feel like they're like things he's actually said in the movie.
Totally. Oh,
fucking 8 people and only one fucking 2 killers chasing me and only one person on a fucking gen. And of course it's you.
Yeah.
One person on a gen. It could only be you. But that's Nicolas Cage is a character in a video game called Dead by Daylight, as like,
and I tend to be I
himself, yeah.
And I tend to, when we're playing DBD, or I tend to rally those fucking generators. That's like my thing. Is like
somebody fucking has to.
I'm like laser focused on getting the gens done.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you, listener, are someone who has played Dead by Daylight, then you're like, oh, okay, cool. If you're not, however, you're probably like, what the fuck are these 2 idiots talking about?
And I'm not sorry anymore. It's a game where you hold M1 and do generators, and another player plays a killer and tries to get you. Much like,
for those of us who use a controller, it's R2.
It's R2. Oh man. So on to the matter at hand, folks. Yes, you're probably like, what is Denver the Last Dinosaur? Well,
what the hell is Denver the Last Dinosaur anyway?
Shut up with the Denver. He's a dinosaur.
I've never even been to Colorado.
I've never even been to Colorado. And
I just typed the Denver dinosaur.
Yeah, the Denver dinosaur.
The Denver dinosaur. Oh, Jesus.
I never really watched this before.
I did. I did.
So maybe I was too young to have caught it. And then by the time I knew about it, I was like too old to like watch it like reruns.
Yeah,
Like it fit because I'm 87. So
Yeah.
like it kind of fit. I was too young to start watching it.
Yeah.
And then by the time reruns would have been like a thing, I was like too old to think it was like cool. But I feel like I missed out.
I can remember pretty vividly. I was born in 85, the beginning of 85. So I can remember pretty vividly back to 1990, including the shows that I was watching regularly, and this was one of them.
And my partner like fucking loved this because so I was like, "Do you want to watch this with me?" And she was like, "Hell yeah!"
And she's the same age as I am, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I definitely feel like, oh man, what a
So-
time to be alive to watch this show and have it not be a caricature of itself.
So the episode that we put through the folks here on the Blockbrothers show each and every week to determine what we're going to watch the following week, we look up a show, look at the episode count, take that number, put it through a random number generator, and whatever the random number generator lands on is the episode we watch, per what Wikipedia says that episode is.
Inevitably, it's going to be jumbled and different on wherever.
Sometimes on
we
different
find it.
services, yeah. It ends up being
So
a different
whatever
episode.
Wikipedia says, we
But what-
lock in that exact episode.
That's what
By
we
the
end
name,
up
yeah.
watching by name, yeah. So this was the 30th episode overall, the Chinatown Caper, which originally aired on November 9th of 1989. Now, last week on the show, I was very wary of this based on the episode description, which reads as follows.
Yes.
Denver, dressed in a Chinese lion robe and headdress, leads a mad chase for dog nappers in Chinatown during the Chinese New Year parade.
So there's a lot in that description there.
There sure is.
He puts on a Chinese dragon costume. So it's like, "Ooh." And they're going after dog nappers. I didn't think about it last week when we were like, but I was like, oh man,
I swear, if it is a person who runs a Chinese food restaurant,
kidnapping dogs for some reason.
I watched this last weekend. Normally I watch these shows about a day before we record. I actually watched this last weekend. I watched it right away because you want
to make sure?
I wanted to make sure there was time to potentially veto and re-roll if we had to. If this
in
episode
hindsight, that would have been smart. Yeah.
If this episode ended up being like just too racist to talk about, because it's the danger is there. I'm happy to say the show isn't nearly as racist as I was expecting it to be. There's a couple of scenes where like background characters are mumbling.
Nothing I would say problematic. Or go ahead. What?
There's some background characters who are mumbling a language that I'm assuming is supposed to be Mandarin. It sounds nothing like Mandarin. But what it sounds like is white people just like making random noises with their mouths.
But at least it wasn't like it wasn't as bad as it could have been.
Yeah.
No, I would dare even say probably not problematic. When the little girl came on the TV, I was like waiting for her to have like a really bad accent. No, just like a little kid voice.
No, and overall, the language thing aside, overall, I think this, and again, I'm a white guy, so what do I know? But this seems like fairly neutral to positive representation. I don't think there's anything super duper offensive here, and I'm happy. I'm very relieved about that.
It could have.
It could have been a whole lot worse.
Yeah, I was like waiting for the triangle hat. I was like waiting for. I was like, there's a scene where they're at that Joy's dad's house, or her grandpa, because he's
They're
the
her
one
grandpa,
that
yeah.
found the um and one of them is Shades is expertly like using like the chopsticks, and it shows like Wally, and he's like doing this and he's like mixing it up, but like white people not knowing how to use chopsticks is a tale as old as time.
Yeah.
And yeah, I thought that they did everything fine, but I welcome people with a more discerning eye to comb through it. Long after and
If we're wrong,
before,
please,
there were worse.
feel free to tell us.
Long after this, there were much worse representations in cartoons. So color me surprised.
And more recently than you would think.
Yeah, like this is 89.
Yeah.
So that's
there's been much more offensive shit in cartoons much newer than this.
Yeah.
So
and we didn't get any alarm bells. So
yeah.
Well, Joy and her grandpa doesn't, but Joy has a slight, very barely able to like barely noticeable accent, but that might just be her like little kid accent.
Could be, yeah.
She sounds like from the TV show Rugrats. She sounds like Lil, like the voice actress that like from like Lil. And
it wouldn't surprise
Phil.
me if it's the same one. You know who voices Shades? And funny enough, his like best bud that he hangs around with all the time.
Who?
I'll give you a hint. See if you can pick up on it from this line here, and listeners too. Feel free to yell it into your earbuds after I say this quote. Did you like my sunglasses, dear brother?
No way.
Yep. Cam Clark.
And he voiced both of them?
Yeah, he voiced both of them. Cam Clark is one of those voice actors who it doesn't matter what he's in or what he does to his voice. I always know it's him. Same with Jim Cummings and Jennifer Hale.
Good catch. Wow, that's the same. Huh.
Yeah, he also voiced Deflator Mouse in The Tick, which we covered on the show a long time ago.
Kudos to voice actors that can do lots of characters that sound nothing alike. Meanwhile, there are some voice actors out there, not to throw shade, that they kind of just have like a protagonist voice, and that carries them pretty far. Pretty far.
Or the trend in Hollywood for the past like 25 years of casting non-voice actors and casting big name celebrities who just do their regular thing in front of a microphone. Looking at you, Chris Pratt as Mario.
Wasn't it Seth Rogen did DK?
Yeah, Seth Rogen did DK.
But just as his own voice.
As his own voice. You know, I'm still going to say the best fucking Donkey Kong voice is whoever the guy was who voiced him in the Donkey Kong Country cartoon from the 90s. Banana Slammer! That's still the best. Still the best. Still the best Donkey Kong.
And Diddy Kong. Hell yeah. Yeah, I agree. Banana Slammer. Get that guy.
Yeah,
he's
get
alive.
That guy. Whatever he's doing.
If he's alive. He's doing, stop what you're doing. Get over here.
I guess that show is like almost 30 years old now. So.
Right. So what do we got here? We got Denver. I found out that him being around is not an open like secret. It's not like everybody's just like, oh, that's the dinosaur. They try to hide him.
Well, and you wouldn't think that based on the intro when you see him. You see him like rocking out with a guitar, like in front of like an audience,
skateboarding. You wouldn't think that. So color me surprised when they were like, "Oh, come on, Denver, we need to like hide you or whatever." Now, that being said, he is just walking down the sidewalk for 80% of this fucking episode.
Yeah,
but he'll like go row and like hide and like in an alleyway. By the way, 10 feet tall. And people will just walk past and he'll go, whew.
I think they were
like,
I think they were going.
You can see people in the background, like they're going for playfully trying to like hide him from the public eye.
He kind of talks.
Okay, so let's talk about that next.
I think they were going for a Scooby-Doo type thing.
I was surprised that they went for a Scooby-Doo type thing. I thought he was gonna talk like this. Are you ready, kids? And like
Yeah.
shred on like an electric guitar, but he's barely not literate. He's barely he says a few words here and there, and he's like, joy, friend, joy. Right. And so he's kind of like
He's like Scoob. He's like Scooby.
Yeah, he's not at the intellectual level of humans, but enough that he has some speech.
He can communicate, yeah.
He can communicate, yeah. Also, like the voice. Every time that guy must have went into the recording booth, he must have left like not being able to talk for a few days.
That guy probably took a couple shots of rum before he started recording. Loosen his throat up.
Detective Denver.
Also, the voice is kind of annoying. I gotta be honest.
I'm not doing a voice that's that far off from it. It sounds like this. Kind not like Scooby-Doo is like you like it's fine and it's iconic. Denver's voice is a little grating.
Yeah.
But whatever. I can get past that. He doesn't talk a lot. The cool dudes that are hanging out with him, at least in this episode, are Shades and Wally. And later, Shades, Wally, and what was the other guy's name? Can't remember.
I can't remember either. I watched this like a week ago, so.
But they're all wearing shades. But Shades always has shades, I guess.
I watched this like a week ago, and I got to be honest, I started getting bored after about 10 minutes.
Now, here's the thing. So much happens that I think if less happened, but it followed the plot more clearly and linearly, it might be better for it.
I think this might be an example of us maybe not landing on a great episode.
Maybe, but I so much like the themes and the individual dialogue. Like, whoa, is that an ice cream truck? Where are you going with the ice creams, lady? And them chasing after
what is the line that he says? He's like, hey, don't leave without dishing out a couple of scoops.
It's things like that that feel so self-satirical, except that it was like of its time.
Yeah.
Like that's what I mean by it feels like a 2015 parody of like the late 80s or early 90s, except that it's not parodying anything. Everything is parodying this.
Well, and in that
era.
Well, what that tells me is that it's a perfect encapsulation of the culture of the time.
It really was. Like, holy shit, this was something. Like, if you're like, Dad, what was like southern, like SoCal like culture in like 1990? Show them Denver The Last Dinosaur. Just any episode.
Yeah.
And you'll be like, oh, okay.
And
the
then
popped collar on the Hawaiian shirt.
And then if they want a video game that is really indicative of the era, hand them a Sega Genesis cartridge of Toe Jam and Earl in Panic on Funkatron.
Holy shit, yeah. And then watch how fast they lose interest trying to figure out how to play Toe Jam and Earl.
Fucking love Toe Jam and Earl.
Great 2-player game.
I actually like the second one, the side-scrolling one, more than the original.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't mind both of them.
Just play that shit on Sega Channel all the time.
I've got like half an hour of playing that in me from time to time, and then I'm like, okay.
Yeah, that's what I do too. Sometimes, like, I think I have it as part of like a Genesis collection on Steam, and once every couple of years, I'll like fire it up for like maybe half hour, 45 minutes.
Yeah.
And I'll be like, yeah.
Hell yeah.
Far out, man.
Look out. Don't fall in the many, many different things you fall off of in the first game. Is that an item or is that an enemy? Nobody knows. Walk into it and find out.
Throw a jar at it and see if there's a human hiding behind that bush.
That's right. Lines that could only pertain to one video game.
Yep.
So what's going on here? There's a bird, for some reason,
Boyd.
and the two boys are hanging out with Denver, and they're like, I need to totally catch this bird for some reason. And Denver lifts up the boys. Denver lifts up one of the kids.
See off screen. And I think the implication, my headcanon is that the implication here is that off screen Shades and his buddy are like fucking baked right now.
Oh, yeah. Or pretending to be baked was like half of the culture.
Well, man, we just smoked like such a big blunt. I'm so hungry. Look at that fucking bird over there, man.
Oh, man, we could like make our own chicken nuggets.
We could eat like nuggets made out of that entire chicken. That's actually a falcon.
Denver,
Whoa.
lift me up so I can grab that falcon. And he does. The bird flies away
Such a great little dino buddy, man.
and lands on the other guy's shoulders. And he's like, I think he likes me. And now they got a new bird sidekick. And they go to a friend's house who's got a weird hat. The glasses kid, is that Wally? He's got like a weird hat.
Funny,
and they're like,
funny,
do you have any bird feed? And he's
funny
like,
you
"Yeah,
should
in the
mention
kitchen."
weird hats and bird friends, because on Craig of the Creek, there was a character who both had a weird hat with a bird friend sitting on it.
That's right.
Yeah. 6 degrees of Denver right there.
6 degrees of Denver. So this is what I mean by there's weird plot beats in the show just to move it along, when I think they didn't understand less is more. So they're hanging out, figuring out what to do with the bird, or hanging out outside, and they're like, Denver, can you go inside and get the bird feed above the sink? He goes inside, and there's a TV playing with the local news in the kitchen.
Yeah.
And it has his friend Joy. And she is like, oh, my poor little dog was like stolen and or missing. And he's like, Joy, friend. And then he goes and runs and tells them to all come inside quick. And then he catches them up on like Joy, like, whose dog's missing. And they're like, well, what do you want to do? We're not police. Detective Denver, you want to try to find the dog, Denver? Yeah. Why not just have all the kids inside? Do you know what I mean? The back and so the show does that a lot. Like, this character's over here and they need to go find that character, and then the character finds this character, but then they're split up because the two others split up to try to find Denver in the first. There's so much of the episode is just characters not being in the same place and trying to be in the same place.
Right. That's a really common writing technique, is to fracture a group of characters for the sake of like padding out subplots.
And indeed, that's what the whole episode is. So
Yeah.
I won't get into the nitty gritty of every time it does that, but like the whole episode is characters running into this character, but then they're separated from this character, and Wally and Shades like looking for Denver, but Denver's missing because Denver's with Joy, and they're in his truck because they're hiding him so that like the normies don't see him. And then when he's in the back of a truck, because initially he sneaks away, the kids tell him not to go into Chinatown to find this dog. He sneaks into a van that's going to Chinatown.
Yeah.
And like that's it. And then the conflict is him running into Joy to try to help her find her dog, and the rest of the kids looking for Denver. It's not until a little ways in that we meet The villain. I don't know if she's the villain for every episode.
By the way, the voice actress for the character you're talking about is named Kath Soucie, uh, known for Rugrats.
There we go. I was like, wait, that sounds like Lil.
Yep. And indeed, it was, yeah.
And the kids chase down an ice cream truck, but we find out the ice cream truck has a married couple? Question mark. They're married. It seemed like they were married because he called her dear.
You're talking about the dog nappers?
Yeah.
I thought she was just his like manservant or something.
That he was her manservant?
Yeah, her like chauffeur.
Hard to. I thought that they were married or something like that. So she's like,
maybe that's just what their fetish is.
I feel like there's something going on. So
they are married, but he gets off on being treated like her servant.
Yeah. So he's submissive, but he's also compassionate. Like he doesn't want to hurt the dogs. He looks after them. He's feeding them. He's feeding them ice cream at one point, and I'm like, dude, trying to kill these dogs?
Oh man. Sorry, I'm looking at the episode list because her manservant guy, I can't remember who voiced him, but it was someone who stuck out to me. There's an episode where they go to a comic book convention. Why couldn't we have landed on that one?
Now that would have been interesting. So we got like soccer mom, like Botox, like blonde, like tall blonde lady. And she's stealing all of these prize-winning dogs from Chinatown because that's where everybody walks their very expensive dogs.
Yeah.
And specifically in Chinatown, I guess. And her husband, who has an ice cream like truck. And her, man, kudos to the cat. That is such an evil cat. So what they do is they release the cat. The cat gets expensive dogs to chase it, and then they spring a trap, and they steal the dog, put it in the back of the ice cream truck, and bring it to a warehouse. Now, Siege,
yeah,
what would be your first guess as to what this lady's evil plan is, and why she's stealing expensive dogs?
She wants to steal them to skin them and turn their coats
101 Dalmatian style, right?
Yeah, great value Cruella de Vil. That's what I was getting from her.
Now, I was thinking, okay, she's going to resell these like dogs. So what she wants to do is throw a like expensive and purebred dog show for rich people so that she can become famous and well connected to like European royalty.
That's quite the plan.
No one's going to ask where any of the dog's owners are, but you're going to become famous. Lady, what the fuck are you doing? Like, you're going to throw a show? Like, are they even trained? Like, what kind of show? It's going to be a fancy dog show, I guess. But like, people are going to be like, oh, like, where are the owners for these? How are they going to be trained? That's a weird one. I was expecting a Cruella de Vil, but instead I got, I'm going to throw a dog show and I'll be the most famous of all the dog show producers. I
feel like dog shows were kind of big in the 80s and 90s.
Maybe like that's when it was like the height of when they were big.
Because I remember seeing dog shows on TV all the time when I was a kid. And now you like never hear about them. I feel like it was a thing that was in at the time. By the way,
weird that she thinks she can get away with that and become famous.
Her manservant is voiced by an actor named Brian Cummings, not related to Jim Cummings, which is part of his IMDb trivia.
Oh, okay.
Known for not 6 Degrees of Denver. Here, this is 6 Degrees of Snake. Known for Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater as the voice of Sokolov.
Really?
Yeah. That's why his voice stuck out to me so much.
The fuck? So there's
another Metal Gear connection, Cam Clark.
There's two. Huh.
On this podcast, if you're new here, we always find weird ways of linking things to Metal Gear Solid or The Dark Knight.
Yeah, it happens. We can't help it. Everything is linked to Metal Gear Solid or The Dark Knight.
Or oh god, on our now defunct reboot podcast, Alphanumeric, that we did several years ago, we had one episode where we managed to string together the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles reboot, Highlander, and Mad Max Fury Road.
Yeah.
Because the guy who wrote the movie Mad Max Fury Road was involved, designed the character of Megatruck for the reboot episode Bad Bob. And he also worked on Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and the Highlander animated series from the 90s.
Yeah.
That was a wild 6 degrees of separation right there.
Go watch Bad Bob, or at least some clips of it from YouTube or something from
one of the
Reboot.
best episodes of Reboot.
Oh, definitely. And you're like, this game, because they go inside games on that show. This is the plot of Mad Max Fury Road.
And this episode came out 20 years before that movie.
So much so that they go to they race down through the desert and canyons to the end. And then when they get there, they turn around.
Yep.
And then in the middle of the canyons, spoilers for Mad Max Fury Road.
An 11-year-old movie at this point.
They all play chicken and crash into each other. And it's so much like the fucking movie that you're like, okay, this guy's been holding on to this for 25 years. And the fact he got to put it into such a big budget, successful Mad Max movie must have been needing to nut for 20 years.
He got to take the structure and some of the story beats of an episode of Reboot that was homaging / parodying Mad Max,
which is parody of Mad Max itself,
and got to turn that into an actual Mad Max movie.
I see you.
That's fucking incredible.
I see you.
Can't remember that guy's name, but shout out to him.
Yeah, one of the co-writers worked, like you said, worked on TMNT. Yeah, and it's very clearly he was okay, hear me out.
And it was you who made the connection too, between, because I've only seen Fury Road once. It was kind of I liked it, but it was kind of out of sight, out of mind.
Yeah, right away I was this is the plot of Mad Max Fury Road. Yeah, entirely. And then we started Googling, and that was fun discoveries. So yeah, Metal Gear Solid voice actors in this episode of Denver, apparently.
Yeah.
And so they're like, Denver, where are you? What was that noise? And then Denver's hiding under a box, but his tail's sticking out. And then they
and then the soldier is just sees the tail and is like, huh, question mark above his head, just a box.
And then immediately turn 180s and just goes,
walks away.
Or puts his gun strap down, leans down, and very slowly and dramatically picks up the box, giving enough time for anything underneath to obviously run away, and goes, huh? And then tosses the box aside.
That's right. That's how it works.
And that's the episode. Snake finds liquid. There's a few really funny lines. It's hey, ice cream. So 80s and 90s kids, stopping whatever you're doing and chasing down an ice cream truck is the most fond memory I have as a kid, of being a kid. I mean, chasing that fucking ice cream truck down, triangulating which block it's on, and scrounging up change to actually get something. That's in this episode.
You want to know what This is so fucking random, but my most vivid ice cream truck memory is I was 10 years old. It's 1995. I lived in a apartment complex, and an ice cream truck pulled up, and I got excited, and my mom gave me some money, and I ran and got one of those Ninja Turtle popsicle things, the one that
Hell
looked like
yeah.
a big turtle shell.
Hell yeah.
And I got that, and I went back and sat down and started eating it. I was sitting outside. We had a lawn chair and table and big umbrella thing set up in the parking lot. I went and sat down and picked up my comic book that I had been reading, and it wasn't even the comic book that stuck out to me. I flipped over the next page, and there was an ad for Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, the movie. And that was how I discovered there was going to be a Power Rangers movie.
While you were eating
While
your
I was
TMNT
eating
ice cream.
while I was eating my Ninja Turtles popsicle. That is my most it's the most random fucking thing, but it is my most vivid ice cream truck memory of my entire childhood.
Hell yeah. Did you ever like the ones where the eyes or something were were gumballs?
Oh, I don't remember those.
You know, it would be famously SpongeBob, and his eyes were like gumballs inside the ice cream. And before that, Spider-Man, I think.
Do you remember the Ghostbusters popsicle?
Yeah, was it
It was in the shape.
Slimer?
I think there was a Slimer, but there was one that was in the shape of the white ghost with the red cross through it.
I think that one had a gumball, maybe.
Maybe.
I kind of remember that.
Maybe that's why I thought of it just now.
Yeah. Well, we're going down the nostalgia lane, folks.
That's what we do here on the Blockbrothers show. Man.
We cover dinosaurs and nostalgia, and then go, it wasn't as good as I remember.
In this case, yeah, probably not. I think we can probably wrap it up here. We keep going off into the weeds.
Into the weeds, back and forth.
What ends up happening? Yeah.
What ends up happening is the lady, they disguise Denver as a dog. And they're walking around, and it's I sure hope nobody steals my prize-winning dog. And
oh yeah, I remember that. He's saying very comically, saying it out loud. Gee, I'm just here walking my super rare and expensive dog.
Yeah, that literally that's the voice line. And he's yeah, bark, bark. And he's got a mop on his head and slippers on his feet.
Stuff like that in this show does have its charm, I will say.
I really liked that. Something happens to the ice cream truck. It's it's shutting down. I need to take a look at the engine. And Shades run over, and he's hey man, can I get a couple of scoops of some ice creams? Or he says, I actually recorded it on my phone because it's so weird. And the guy's yeah, sorry, I don't have any right now. And this is where it gets weird. So his wife, the blonde, done up yoga lady in heels, comes off, and she gets off of her scooter, and she's I can bring you to some ice cream if you're hungry, boy. And he's and he's whoa, really? Sign me up. But I think he just wants ice cream.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? He just he's not trying to be clever. He didn't realize these were the dog nappers. It wasn't until the gig the gig was up and Jake was
whoa, this total babe wants to give me some ice cream.
Hell yeah.
Go into the alley. Wait, where's the ice cream?
Wait, where's the ice cream? Why are you taking off your clothes? That's weird.
Why are you getting on your knees? Whoa, lady.
If there's not ice cream, I'm gonna go. So she realizes the gig is up because as Shades is trying to get ice cream, they're like, wait a second. They're the dog nappers. They're doing it through the ice cream truck like thing. Chase them. And they chase them, and the lady's like, oh shit. See ya. And he's like, wait for me, love. And she's like, not today. And he's like, well, shouldn't we just hand ourselves over? And she's like, no. And she like takes off on her own. And Shades is like, so I'm not getting any ice cream? While everybody else is chasing after her, she ends up like going through a Chinese parade.
And I remember Denver disguises himself as like one of the like
lions.
Yeah.
Like the dragon lion things.
Yeah.
One of the other, yeah. Because there's like the lion dancers.
Yeah.
So he's disguised as a dragon at some point, but she ends up crashing out and falling into like a fish market stall. And by the time she comes to, there's like a police officer there. So I guess they called the police at some point, and they freed all the dogs. And then when it shows them all eating ice cream back at home, on the news, there's a little boy, and he's like, "Oh, it's good all these people got their dogs back. But it's too bad that I lost my like gray cockatoo or whatever it was." And they were like, "Oh, so that's who this bird belongs to." So the idea of the episode is like in the late 80s or all throughout the 80s and even partway into the 90s, lots of shows were about conservatism, looking after pets, recycling, or conservationalism.
Yes.
Conservatism. The two very different somehow different things.
That are usually in opposition of one another.
Now, maybe in a different decade, no, but now they are clearly in opposition to each other. Usually about conservationalism, looking after the environment, looking after animals. And the takeaway here is like looking after pets or acting as a community to make sure pets are safe, or I'm not really sure what like the takeaway was, but it probably ends with Denver being like, oh boy, and like eating ice cream or something. I can't remember exactly how it ended.
It ended with like a freeze frame of like Denver saying something random.
Yeah.
Along those lines.
And
SoCal. Cal.
Why didn't I think of that when we did the intros? SoCal Cal.
You just caught a random episode of Denver, The Last Dinosaur. Is he your friend? And a whole lot more.
Here, so despite my gripes and my complaint, banger intro, I must say.
Oh yeah.
Weird that it summarized the whole episode in the middle of the intro. Do you remember that? I don't know of any other shows that did that. During the intro, it summarizes the episode. And then it like continues the intro. I thought that was weird. But it's got a banger intro.
That used to be a thing with kids TV a lot.
To keep their
when
attention.
I was little. Like it would tell
maybe?
you it would tell you at the beginning. This episode does it like in the middle of the intro, but I remember a lot of shows at this time, kids shows, would start off with like, today on Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, blah 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 blah, and it would summarize the episode, and then the intro would kick in.
Wonder why.
Usually don't see those in like when you watch like reruns nowadays of like those old shows, you usually don't see the recaps at the beginning.
Huh.
But yeah, they were definitely there.
So despite its like imperfections, it's such a good snapshot of the time.
Yeah.
That I can't help but to love that. But in particular, what moves this into like positive is the ridiculous dialogue for the characters.
Yeah.
Like being like, oh, wow, you make great Chinese food. Where did you learn how to do this, Joy's grandpa? And he's like, China. like like little things like that, being like, whoa, hey, can you dole us out some scoops? That that's really endearing to me. The show wasn't what I thought it was, but it was like somehow like I don't think there's a better time capsule, so it does push it into a positive rating for me. So I would tune in next week.
You would tune
to watch Denver the Last Dinosaur.
You would tune in again next week.
I would. And how about yourself? You watched a random episode. Would you tune in next week?
Based on this episode, no. But
that's fair, yeah.
When I was like 5 years old, I did watch this show a lot and kept watching it. It wasn't a channel-changing show for me. So, based on this episode, no, I wouldn't. But obviously, at some point when I was a kid, I did catch a random episode that did inspire me to tune in again. So, in 2026, no. In 1990, yes.
So there you go. So it does not get the special approval.
No, this one is not Siege sanctioned. The intro song is, but but the intro. This show is one of the best theme songs of all time. Period, of any TV show, not just kid shows.
Yeah, not just cartoons. Yeah,
yeah.
Agreed. It's a banger.
It's up there. Well, that was episode 155 of the Blockbrothers show. If you want to support us, go to patreon.com/lazorcomb, LAZORCOMB. $5 a month gets you our bonus Patreon exclusive podcast, the Cal and Siege Super Show.
Hell yeah.
$10, you get that, the occasional commentary track. We might do another one of those again soon, and the ability to pick a show for us to review a random episode of on this very podcast. So go to patreon.com/lazorcomb for that. Join the Discord if you want to interact with us. Link in the description. As always, we'll be back next week with 156 of the Blockbrothers show, where we're continuing on with 30 Days of Dinos. Decided that's what I'm going to call the block.
30 Days of Dinos.
30 Days of Dinos.
Whoa.
Gotta say it that way each week, too. And
strange things are afoot at Flintstone Park.
Strange things are afoot in Denver, Colorado.
We
mulled over it a little bit of what shows we're going to do for this block. We thought of maybe doing the Flintstones, but we decided no, because we're going to save that for a eventual Hanna-Barbera themed month where it will get paired up with the Jetsons and a couple of other shows. So keep an eye out for that in the future. But we settled on, for next week, Dino Riders.
Dino Riders in the Storm.
Which Dino Riders was a show I did watch when I was a little kid. It was also a suggestion by our Patreon subscriber, Roy. So this is kind of a Patreon pick.
Oh yeah.
Not an explicitly a Patreon pick, but it was a suggestion. So to figure out what episode of Dino Riders we're going to watch. Wow, it only lasted 14 episodes.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, we were looking this up earlier, and I was like, man, I remember these toys. Well, we'll get more into that when we'll
get more into that next week, but
no wonder I didn't catch the show, though. It's only 14 episodes.
Yeah. So I'm going to hit screen share. And then I'm going to go to the trusty random number generator. One random episode between 1 and 14, and here we go. Where it stops.
Only
the number
Denver
5
knows.
Only Denver knows. Episode 5. Torosaurus.
Toro.
When Lahad runs off, the Dino Riders split up to look for him, giving Krulos an opportunity to attack. Those were words, folks.
Those were words, and they were very different than the words that described Denver the Last Dinosaurs episode.
So it's going to be a wild Jurassic ride through prehistoric times for the month of April.
And I, for one, welcome it.
So do I. And I welcome you to join us again on the next episode. Bye-bye.
Bye.